So about 6 months ago, Microsoft released their Microsoft Band, and I wanted to do a follow-up review on it to give you my thoughts and tell you the things I like and some of the things I don't like about it. So stay tuned. Alright, so it's been about 6 months with the Microsoft Band. I've worn this pretty much every single day, including even some nights where I've used it to track my sleep. The battery certainly does hold up for the 2 days as they advertise. I did change a setting in the band, which I showed in my first video, of how to have the watch always displayed, and this did reduce the battery life a little bit. But again, I charged this every night and it's still got about 50% battery at the end of the day. So you definitely can get through a solid day. If you really need to maximize battery life, it might be best to leave that setting off. But the watch has done a great job at all of its features that you would expect it to, with step tracking, heart rate, and all that kind of stuff. No complaints there. They did do an update to the band, and I'm using all these features with a paired Windows phone. So keep in mind that if you're using Android or iOS, that some of these features may not be as full features as I'm showing them here. But the text messaging, they did update this now so that you can actually reply to the text messages. Before you were limited to just using like voice, using the Cortana integration. But now you can reply, and you can pick whether you want to do one of the pre-done replies, which I've set these in my phone. You can use Cortana to do a quick voice reply. But then I like this little feature here, the keyboard. At first I saw this keyboard and I was like, how's that going to work? But it actually works pretty good, so let me show you here. So I'm going to do this is a test message. So it didn't get test quite right, which is, I'll be honest, I mean sometimes it's not perfect, but it usually does a really good job. But what I do like, if it does mess up, you just tap on that word, and up at the top it gives you the autocorrects. So I can say, oh, I want it to be test, and there we go. So you can preview the message, and then you just hit send, and it'll send off the message. And since I text myself, you can see the notification comes through on my phone and immediately comes through here on the band, where again you could reply to that message. So it works really great with those kind of things. I'm going to go ahead and pull it off my wrist here just so I can get a little bit closer to the camera here. You can check your email, that works great. The calendar events also, no complaints with any of that there. The weather. Cortana icon here, this has pretty much just been my like news. It also is where your reminders come in, that you tell it, hey Cortana, remind me to do something. Those things will come through here as well. So that works good. Sleep tracking, I've used that. Exercise, all these features work as expected. The phone calls is nice. You can't answer the phone on here because there's no microphone or speaker, but it is nice at least being able to see at a glance the number. However, I will say that it does not appear, at least on most of the calls, it doesn't seem to actually pass through your contact name, which has been interesting. Facebook messaging, Facebook, and then this is kind of nice. I turned this on not too long ago, but this is all notifications. And so again, changing all these settings in the app on the phone, there was a all other notifications option, so that I can get pretty much any notification that comes through my phone, I can get here on the watch. Now I've made a couple tweaks to this. If you notice here, my background is actually a custom background that I've set, and the color is also a custom color that I've been able to set. And so there was an app I found in the Windows Store called Pimp My Band. And this was really cool because it allowed you to do some neat little customizing that you couldn't normally do with the band. So I can change the wallpaper to be a local picture, or you can have it just do an automated picture for you if you don't have one that you want to pick. And you can change the color, including a custom color which you can pretty much choose any color that you want at that point. So after 6 months, I will say that the band has, like I said, I've worn this all the time. I've burned through 3 screen covers. The original one peeled off. I bought a new one, and the edges peeled off. And this one has been on now for several weeks. It's holding up pretty good, but again, this top right corner, which is the same place the other one peeled off, is peeling off again, and that, I believe, is just because when I'm wearing it, you know, that is on the inside of my wrist there, and it's just constantly hitting into stuff. But after 6 months, you can see here, there has been a little bit of, you can see it kind of pulling away a little bit there. So it doesn't seem to be a huge deal, and it doesn't really seem to cause any issues, but I'm curious over time if that'll cause any issues with the band. A little bit of peeling up here on, you can see right there on the cover, but again, it doesn't cause really any discomfort. So I honestly didn't even know that was happening until a couple weeks ago. I was like, oh, look at that. So this little clamp actually holds up pretty good. I was really expecting this over, you know, the course of clicking that on and off to really wear out, but that has actually held up really well. So no complaints there. The magnetic charger right here, where you clip on the band, you do probably need to clean that out every couple months. It just seems to get some buildup, and a lot of that buildup could just be from, you know, resting on your skin. So it probably is a good idea to actually wipe down the entire band every so often anyways. But you do need to keep that clean, as I did have a problem with it not charging, and after I cleaned it, it seemed to be okay. So yeah, if you have that issue, make sure that stays clean there. But overall, I think for the price, given that this is a $200 piece of wearable technology, you really get a lot for your money. I've looked at things like the Fitbit that start at $100 for just fitness, but once you work your way up to devices that have screens that you can interact with, the price easily goes to $200 to $250. And with the new Apple Watch coming out, which starts at $350, this really is good for somebody who just wants something simple. You don't necessarily want it to have every app under the sun, but you want it to be able to tell you the time like a watch should. You want it for fitness tracking and for some basic text message and email type notifications. So overall, I'm still very pleased with this for $200. I would buy it again in a heartbeat if I had to. It seems to hold up really well, and it actually does have built-in GPS, which I just assumed when I bought this and it had built-in GPS so I could go for a jog that was something to expect in most devices. However, I believe none of the Fitbits except for the newest one, which is $250, and even the Apple Watch, I do not believe, has a built-in GPS. And that's huge if you actually want to use this as a fitness band, because you want to be able to put this on your wrist, go for a run, and not bring your phone with you. So you need this device to be able to track your GPS so that when you come back, it can send that information to your phone. So for $200, yes, if I had some complaints, it is a little hokey looking. It's not the coolest looking thing, and it's not the most comfortable thing. But I've gotten very used to wearing it to the point now where if I'm not wearing it, it feels weird. So again, after 6 months, really no complaints. Any complaints that I had are just, like I said, maybe it's a little hokey, a little uncomfortable, but I have gotten so used to it that I don't even notice those things anymore. Like I said, it is peeling off a little bit there, but I can imagine every time I open this, I'm going like this. So that I would expect that a little bit. So hopefully that holds up good. So yeah, if you're still looking to buy one of these things, it is, if you have a Windows phone, it's a no-brainer. I would buy it in a heartbeat. If you do not have a Windows phone, if you're running Android or iOS, you won't get some of the Cortana integration. I'm not sure if you get the keyboard or not. That is something that I'd have to look up. I know they added it to the new release, but I'm not sure if it uses the phone to run that or not. But in either case, even if you don't have a Windows phone for $200, it still is right in line with the Fitbits and stuff like that. Plus you do get the interaction of text messaging, email, and stuff like that. So thank you for watching my video of the Microsoft Band 6-month follow-up review. If you have any questions about the band, if you're looking at getting one, feel free to post a comment in the video, and I will take a look at that and see if I can help you with that or answer that for you. So once again, thank you for watching.